Hello, this is World University and Schools News and Q&A, and it's Monday, December 4th, 2023 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, back to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 7:30 p.m. India Time, 12 midnight Tokyo, Japan Time, 3 p.m. Western European Time, I think. And if you'd like to join this WUAS news and question and answer about MIT OpenCourseWare-centric free online university degrees, bachelor, PhD, law, medicine, IB, high school, AAAS, and master's degrees in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages, and as large language models, generative conversational AI as well, please let World University and School know, or check out the Twitter posts about this. SGKMACLEOD at worlduniversityandschool.org is the email, and twitter.com/WUAS PRESS is the academic press, WS Corporation Twitter feed, and twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH is the World University and School Twitter feed. I'm holding up now a sticker with the URL for the homepage and the WUAS press as well, for you to get more access in the future if you watch this video, which I'll post to Scott MacLeod World University, youtube.com/Scott MacLeod World University at the end of today's online video call. And I'll just check to see if people are seeking to join us, not presently. And so let me begin with the news and question and answer. So agenda item 0, I managed to post the last week, November 27, 2023, on Monday's recording of the WS News and question and answer, partly about WUAS accreditation, but much more, which I did on the public docks of Verona, Pennsylvania, along the Allegheny River, in near freezing weather, last Monday at 1 p.m. The idea there partly was to follow on the previous WS News and question and answer on November 20th, which I did on the Mount Washington above Three Rivers, Pennsylvania, in the center of Pittsburgh, and partly about the expedition aspect of World University and School, exploring further, and even the role that perhaps the Oregon Trail played in creating a new world, for worse and for better, in the mid-1800s, and with regard to World University and Schools growing, as people floated down the Ohio from Three Rivers at Pittsburgh, the Monongahela, the Allegheny, and the Ohio River, to St. Louis and to New Orleans as well. And from St. Louis, the official starting point of the Oregon Trail, took off northwest to the West Coast, changing America, changing the world in many, many ways. So so this video post was posted, and it could be, because I was on a dock when giving it, there was some movement as if we were on a ship or something like that, or a raft floating down the Allegheny in the Ohio. Agenda item 1, beyond the posting of this last week's WS News and question and answer. Toyota and WUAS universities. This is a set of Twitter posts. Robots and humans together for a mobility company. This is a focus of Toyota. And the Twitter post reads, Toyota and hashtag WUAS, UNIVS, question mark, robots and humans together for a mobility company, which is a Toyota Europe link, or posted in the Toyota Europe link in the Twitter feed, for also THR3s, the Toyota humanoid robot 3s, and in collaboration with Toyota Research Institute, which I think has a base in the San Francisco Bay Area, Silicon Valley area, and which also Toyota Research Institute, TRI, has some open source projects for robotics, namely Drake, which is a project developing C++ for robotics as open source, and the Punyo Gripper project, which also is open source, and around how do you make a robotics gripper work effectively through collaborating between all kinds of coders and programmers and roboticists. You can check that out at the tri.global webpage. And where World University and School seeks to collaborate here is with a realistic virtual Earth for robotics. So with all of our 200 world universities, as a simulation, a realistic virtual Earth for robotics, as a simulation, a virtual way to code for robotics. And World University and School has a robotics wiki school, so far in English, but planning to be in all 200 countries' main languages. And let me just jump up to the top here, where I inquire further about some of these questions and integrating a realistic virtual Earth for robotics with a realistic virtual Earth, for example, for everything. So, dear Universitians, Peter Norvig, how about a realistic virtual Earth for history, question mark, with a realistic virtual Harbin, that's a hashtag, Hot Springs for ongoing STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, ethnographic research, and also WUAS publishing, and all together now, especially for a hashtag realistic virtual Earth for robotics in something like Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, TensorFlow AI, TensorStore, and with Little Pegman also becoming avatar agent electronic health records, and more. So World University and School universities would be interested in collaborating with Toyota Robotics and in a new emerging sim, such as a realistic virtual Earth for robotics, in something like Google Street View with Time Slider, and especially with a realistic virtual Earth for Lego robotics. The WS Corporation is an authorized carrier of Lego robotics, and if this could all integrate in a realistic virtual Earth for robotics, realistic virtual Earth for Lego robotics, that would offer far-reaching learning and open source collaborating opportunities for World University and School students, for companies like Toyota and Toyota Robotics, and similar. Stay tuned. World University and School is continuing to call for a realistic virtual Earth for robotics, a realistic virtual Earth for history, a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs, and a realistic virtual Earth for everything. Agenda item 2. It was great for World University and School to participate in, to attend a Stanford Medicine Center for Digital Health talk last Thursday with its new director, Eleni Linos, and Stanford Law Codex also last Thursday with 4 presentations, talks, and for networking. World University and School has reached out to both Stanford Law Codex further and Stanford Medicine CDH further in regards to a number of the presentations made. And I'll just begin with the Stanford Law Codex email I sent to some of the presenters, many of the presenters, and Roland Vogel, the director of the Stanford Law Codex program. So one talk was about smart contracts from Finn Fierro in London regarding the ability to manage assets with this code project that Finn was creating. And he mentioned both Ethereum, digital cryptocurrency, as well as ChatGPT, generative artificial intelligence. And I asked, could one substitute the Pi cryptocurrency for Ethereum and other assets that his coding is working for? And how might also Google Bard generative AI work with his smart contract system, in addition to ChatGPT, which he mentioned, and regarding his POC smart contract platform for trading digital asset derivatives. There's a banking and money wiki school at World University and School. There's an artificial intelligence wiki school at World University and School with some MIT OpenCourseWare courses, which are iterating, and about 9 online beginning law schools in about 9 countries, planned in their main languages, out of 200 countries in their main languages at World University and School. And I asked Finn further in text and in email, how would Stanford mine Pi cryptocurrency with its blockchain, which it's just gotten, I think, online with mainnet, grow in the British Isles? How could Stanford mine Pi cryptocurrency become a main single cryptocurrency alongside the British pound even, and then perhaps becoming a worldwide currency with London as a center of the financial world? Would the English central bank buy Stanford mine Pi cryptocurrency from the Pi network, or even buy from the WUAS Corporation with our partnering letter with Stanford mine Pi cryptocurrency, and where the WUAS Corporation seeks to list on the emerging, fairly new Silicon Valley long-term stock exchange as they develop their IT? And as World University and School also seeks to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, each a Wikidata PIN number at WUAS, at WUAS, and with the code that Finn Fierro especially shared in his Stanford Law Codex presentation. To another group of presenters last Thursday at Stanford Law Codex, Lena Kim and Mehul Arora, who gave an excellent presentation on inventions that are patented. And in what way could a realistic virtual Earth for patenting, think Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Atom View, Google SketchUp, be helpful to them? Lena had mentioned making representations of patents, of patent applications, of projects that lightbulbmachineLearning.com, this company they founded, lightbulbml.com made. And in how could such a realistic virtual Earth for patenting in one realistic virtual Earth help them? And there is a link, new patents link from Google in these regards, patents.google.com, which shows how to represent things in 3D, how Google would approach this, and if it could be integrated into a realistic virtual Earth, such as Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, and with TensorFlow AI, that could help the patenting process immeasurably. I also asked further, and what if this could become, what if the Google patents into 3D process and modeling might become into n-dimensionality for patents. I would think that there may be some inventions, physical objects that are up for patents that move beyond the 3D of much virtual modeling and might benefit from n-dimensional modeling, to be seen. Another presenter, Atul Agarwal, shared about immigrant first AI, and I wonder how and if Stanford MindPi, cryptocurrency, free money daily, mindpi.com/SGKMAC is where you can begin to download and get your own Stanford MindPi, 3 to 4 Pi coins a day. In what ways could it be helpful to immigrants and lawyers that Atul Agarwal contacts with, and even from his platform? These are great contacts with Stanford Law Codex that that World University and School made further this past Thursday. And regarding to the Stanford Medicine Center for Digital Health, it was great to meet in some ways virtually Dr. Eleni Linos, MD, the new director with a brand new team of the Stanford Center for Digital Health. And here also Jiasong Kim, all brought together by Jonathan Chen, MD, at Stanford Medicine. In the email I shared with them, I sent greetings also to Bob Harrington, MD, the former chair of Stanford Medicine, and I think the former head of the Center for Digital Health at Stanford, also, who's now at, I think maybe the dean at Cornell Weill in New York City. In what ways could further I shared with them, Eleni and Jiasong Kim, in developing MIT OpenCourseware-centric World University and Schools, 200 online medical schools in 200 countries and in their main languages, and potentially encoding for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, and even for UBI experiments to end poverty with regard to medical questions. In what ways might and even also for avatar agent electronic health records, potentially for all 7.9 billion people, in what ways might the Stanford Medicine Center for Digital Health, CDH, begin to focus on one, digital, extreme longevity genetics, and digital, aging reversal genetics, and two, avatar agent electronic health records in all 200 countries, main languages per the Olympics, where Eleni Linos grew up in Greece until she was 18, and where the Olympics had their origins in ancient Greece with regard to the planning for World University and School to be in 200 countries, all 200 Olympics countries, for growing major online universities. And with 200 World University and School online hospitals in a realistic virtual earth for surgery, and think Google Street View, with TimeSlider, and a realistic virtual earth for telerobotic surgery, and with a realistic virtual earth for genetics. So 200 online medical schools and 200 online hospitals. Curious what will emerge from this with Stanford Medicine as we seek to continue, World University and School seeks to continue to grow our online medical schools. So agenda item 3, WUAS extreme longevity. Recently came across a video from Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who had interviewed Dr. George Church, the MIT and Harvard professor of genetics, the Harvard professor of genetics at the Harvard Medical School, In this video, Dr. Rhonda Patrick asks, is there a limit to human longevity? And she suggests theoretically no. And she also asks statistically how this would work, and suggests that statistically we also could live for extremely long times in fascinating ways. So I shared a set of tweets. Hashtag Yamanaka factors vaccine. How can we begin to consume this FDA approved for adding genes for aging reversal? Hashtag extreme longevity, hashtag WUAS aging reversal, hashtag WUAS extreme longevity with hashtag avatar agent electronic health records, and shared the video of an interview with Dr. George Church on 60 Minutes, which is only about a minute long, and the video of Dr. Rhonda Patrick, which is about 8 minutes long, where she asks, is there a limit to human longevity? And she suggests theoretically no. Could we get Yamanaka factors vaccine if we began to consume this FDA approved even through WUAS smartwatches or smartwatches, which with a skin patch, for example, to the wrist, and with smartwatches being connected to the internet? The Stanford Medicine Center for Digital Health presentation did focus on smartwatches, interestingly. Agenda item 4, WUS growing from CC4 MIT OpenCourseWare. And importantly, a question about using the MIT name at the Education Summit in Las Vegas in March of 2024. So a woman named Jane Davis, who may be a Reed alumnus too, reached out to me in an email last week and asked if I would be, or if World University and School would be available to present at the Education Summit. I emailed back a couple of times, and the second time I emailed both Conrad Alt, a lawyer who's a Reed College trustee as well, and a friend, and Larry Lessig, a Harvard law professor and a founder of Creative Commons licensing, and inquired further about using the MIT name from CC4 MIT OpenCourseWare in such outreach to a possible the Education Summit in March of 2024 in Las Vegas, or possibly in Dubai in February of 2024 at the Education Summit. So hi Jane, thanks again for this possible invitation to MIT OpenCourseWare Centric Wiki World University and School to the Education Summit in Las Vegas in March of 2024. Looking forward to hearing from you if it works out that they would like World University and School to be there. I think World University and School would be able to use the CC4 licensed MIT OpenCourseWare Centric World University and School MIT name in any outreach materials of the Education Summit. And I ask Larry Lessig if this is correct. Stay tuned. This would be a momentous development if World University and School could make a first public kind of sharing about World University and School, MIT OpenCourseWare Centric to School, planned in 200 countries and in their main languages for free online degrees at such an Education Summit. Agenda item 5, Quaker Desiderata, the Desiderata poem, there's been relatively little exploration of the Desiderata poem in Quaker circles, but some. A Swarthmore College professor gave a talk about this in the 1950s, in Quaker History and Editorial, which is in JSTOR. And World University and School is seeking to explore this further in our 2 to 3 Quaker wiki schools. The non-theist friends, atheist Quakers, ? Wiki school, the Quakers Religious Society of Friends wiki school, and the Peace and Social Justice Studies wiki schools. And as a form of Quaker service, making World University and School available in all 200 countries for free online degrees from home, as World University and School also seeks to make wiki schools for free universal education and people-to-people available for speakers of all 7,168 known living languages and with large language models AI. How could World University and School, for example, exploring further a Quaker Desiderata, and with regard to Frederick B. Tolles, who is the professor who wrote the article about Quaker Desiderata, and was also the author of the William Penn article in the Encyclopedia Britannica online. How best to add, for example, William Penn's coming to America and based on this Britannica article, possibly text in the sidebar of Google Street View with TimeSlider, into a realistic virtual Earth for history. Could we all talk with William Penn as an avatar agent in a Google Street View with TimeSlider, where Pegman would become William Penn's avatar agent in iterating ways for natural language processing and conversational generative artificial intelligence? And regarding friendly informed, Quaker informed, MIT OpenCourseWare centric WUAS Wiki World University and School. So I'm going to switch focus here from World University and School to the WUAS Corporation. And this next agenda item A emerges from an invitation late last week from the Stanford Latino Business Action Network and a Chase curated coaching opportunity for the WUAS Corporation, which World University and School signed up for this upcoming Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And this is an opportunity potentially for World University and School to grow our Spanish language, possibly 25 online major MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and Schools, world universities, in 25 countries where Spanish is the official language of these countries out of approximately 22 countries in the world. And here's my email to Stanford Latino Business Action Network and Chase Banking Curated Coaching, and Marisol Negocia, who is, I think, from Peru and teaches Quechua at Stanford, the Quechua language, and possibly partly from Spanish, I think. So who's also a friend and acquaintance. And I met in person and talked with her possibly 5 to 8 years ago at Stanford in their Latino house. Dear Stanford Latino Business Action Network, LBAN, Chase's curated coaching for entrepreneurs program, powered by the Acceleration Project, with Jenny L., who's apparently going to be my coach, or World University and Schools coach, or at least that's who the email was supposed to be from, and other friends at Chase. Thanks so much for the LBAN, Latino Business Action Network Chase opportunity. For your information, CC4 licensed MIT OpenCourseWare centric Wiki World University and School is 1A, a nonprofit 501c3 legal entity at the US federal level, and 1B, a nonprofit tax-exempt legal entity in California too. And the URL for that is worlduniversityandschool.org. And 2, the WS Corporation is a for-profit general stock company in California. And the URL for that is worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html. And WS just registered for this LBAN Chase curated coaching opportunity on Friday, December 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Further, in preparation for this upcoming meeting, in my having attended and participated as an audience member in a number of LBAN panels at Stanford itself a few years ago, and now in Pennsylvania, but seeking to head back to the San Francisco Bay Area early in 2024, I'll share again that WUAS seeks to offer free online MIT OpenCourseWare-centric WUAS degrees in Spanish in all 25 out of 200 countries where Spanish is a main language: bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB, high school, or similar AAAS and master's degrees from students' homes. So in all 25 Spanish language countries, again, out of 200. In online MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Google WUS World University and School universities. And this is perhaps the significant part for this upcoming meeting on Friday. And with physical digital WUAS educational services stores planned for books, computers, robotics, hospital technologies, groceries in each of these countries. So for student services. And WUAS in partnering with Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency. And in WUAS seeking to code for all the people in each of these 25 Spanish language countries, for example, each a Wikidata PIN number. And WUAS planning to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet as well. And potentially to end poverty with UBI, Universal Basic Income experiments too, by possibly making Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency with the WS Corporation a main worldwide currency for speakers of all 7,168 known living languages and in all 200 countries, as again, we seek to code for all 7.9 billion people. Further to LBAN and Chase curated coaching opportunity, as I glance through the curated coaching for entrepreneurs program pre-work webpage, one significant challenge for MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Wiki World University and School is that WUAS hasn't had any money to speak of whatsoever since we became a 501c3 in 2010. Looking forward to talking with you, Jenny L. at Chase's Curated Coaching for Entrepreneurs program on Friday, 12/8/23 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and potentially in the future, brainstorming-wise, to develop a business plan for World University and School for WUAS accreditation. Here are the beginning MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Wiki World University and School universities, not yet in Spanish, the Mexico World University and School, the Spain World University and School, accessible from the nation states Wiki School, Wiki Subject at WUS, and the Spanish language Wiki School or Wiki Subject page, which is not yet in Spanish, it's only in English so far, accessible from the languages Wiki Subject at World University and School, and each planned with online WUAS educational services stores. All the best, Scott MacLeod. So that's the news and question and answer for today. At World University and School, WUS, All the best abolitionally friendly Quaker greetings, and see you soon. I'll post this video recording to youtube.com/@ Scott MacLeod World University /videos. The next WUA, and also to the main Twitter feeds for World University and School and the other ones as well. Twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH and Twitter.com/WUASPRESS. Next week's WS News and Question and Answer is potentially on December 4th, and I think I'm going to move them back to 10 a.m. Eastern Time from 1 p.m. For the foreseeable future at this point. So worlduniversityandschool.org is our homepage. The Twitters are most active. Check out the YouTube video channel as well. Until next week, all the best. Stay warm as winter comes on, and bye for now.